The Golem is the newest mining ship to the game, looking to catch the eye of those looking for their first foray into interplanetary resource exploitation. But how does Drake's Lil Digger hold up? Welcome to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Verse. Oops.
Quantum travel initiated.
As always, I start my ship reviews with a disclaimer. You don't ever need to spend more than the absolute minimum on Star Citizen, be that an Aurora or a Mustang game package, as you can buy or loot everything in game. If you feel CIG have earned more, well, it's your money, your prerogative. Normally, I finish that statement with, but I won't advise you either way, but for reasons that will become apparent towards the end, I'm making a slight exception this time. That's all out the way, the Drake Golem. We don't have any lore to go with this ship, but it's described as being bare bones, no frills, and that's exactly what you get. With no interior to speak of, Drake's pared-back utilitarian design really shows through, feeling more like a crane cab than the futuristic cockpit of the Prospector. At least they bothered to install AC. With its two 16 SCU cargo bags, the Golem matches the Prospector in capacity, filling from only a few rocks, but it's enough that those with a keen eye for the right deposits will find themselves making a reasonable amount of creds per run. They're easy to unload too, with a simple multi-tool more than enough for the job. Its bespoke mining laser does mean that you will find yourself stuck with a high resistance penalty, as well as higher instability. You do, however, get a large charge window in return, making it more forgiving for newer miners. Where it really shines though is in just how small it is. At less than 16 meters long, 7 meters wide, and only 5 meters tall, this is one of the smallest ships in the game, being half the length and width of the Prospector. For a visual comparison, here it is next to an Avenger and an Aurora. This makes the Golem a potentially fantastic parasite ship with a small swarm, squadron, troop? Yeah, that worked. With a small statuary of these easily fitting in the bay of a Hercules, a Carrack, as well as the upcoming Galaxy. Unfortunately, it's just a smidge too large to fit in the Caterpillar. I tried. It went well. And being a parasite ship is what you will want this to be out in the black. With no interior, you lack amenities, as well as the ability to eat or drink. Repairability is also an issue. With the ship's components hidden behind the mining sacks, field repairs are more involved, and quick getaways could potentially mean leaving behind the spoils of your endeavours. Once out in the black, how does it handle? As expected for such a small ship, it's decently quick, with good angular acceleration. It feels much akin to the Aurora, though it does suffer in the boost department, with Afterburner best reserved for bringing your vector in line with the nose. And down in Atmo, you will be doing a lot of that. Looks like a brick, sounds like a brick, flies like a brick. Don't get any ideas of fancy flying. For defense, the Golem comes with only a single S1 shield, leaving you a sitting duck, and on the offensive side, she sports two size 1 mounts as well as a pair of size 1 missiles. These are, quite honestly, only of any use for killing Copians that happen to be around that gem node that you're eyeing up. Don't fight, just run. So, how does the Golem fit into the lineup? Honestly, extremely well. Sure, it lacks the amenities of the Prospector, but it more than makes up for this with its tiny size, allowing it to supplement long-range vessels capable of carrying them. More importantly, once it becomes available via in-game stores, it should, theoretically, offer a much cheaper alternative to the relatively expensive, at least for new beginners, Prospector. And that brings me on to the exception I mentioned earlier. If ever anyone was to say to me, look, I want to spend a bit more, what should I upgrade to? The only answer I could honestly and in good conscience give was the Avenger Titan. It's a great all-rounder, and you'll have still spent no more than you would on any AAA game. The problem has always existed then that those with an eye for industry were left short unless they were willing to spend an extra £90, which nobody should ever do. Now, I feel like there are two answers to this question. Want a bed to carry boxes or to fight? Go to the Titan. Want to earn your way with good old-fashioned hard work out in the belts? Get a Golem. On a slight aside to that, I sincerely hope that this sets a precedent from CIG. £70 is a reasonable price in today's market for a video game, though I would like to see the game be more complete before I'm comfortable recommending spending that much. A salvage, science, explorer, hell, whatever ship at this price point is exactly what this game needs. Leave any thoughts below, and with that, I thank you for watching. Time for a beer.